morning, Al. Good morning, Milo.
Good morning.
That's about right, bruh.
Yeah.
Packed lunch duty this morning for Mrs. Crossfield, who's working, and for Orla today. Orla, tell everyone why I need to make you a packed lunch today. To here, look. Tell them there. They're down there, look. Why do we have to make you a packed lunch? You tell them, I can't remember. Is it to do with where you sit for lunch? If we make Orla a packed lunch today, she gets to sit out at the benches in the sun. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So she wants packed lunch, not school dinners today. I've got to go and get my car this morning. I've got to do more filming and of course editing. I've got a camera to go and pick up. It's very nice and sunny again. Do love it when the sun shines. How good was Wentworth yesterday, eh? Such a good tournament. So look, today's question, and let's do yesterday's question first actually. I kind of get it a bit wrong, because it was a poor question really. There's actually as many events in the UK as there is anywhere else on the European tour. So I think we get our fair share, but there was a few people who would like to see more, which I understand, because we did have maybe more which felt like we were in England, but it's the European tour, remember. Today's question then, it's not a dig at Sky, even though most of you will read it that way, or some of you will read it that way. Some of you read some things in very funny ways though, don't you? So I've got Sky, and I pay, and I think it's a lot of money to have it. And I'm enjoying watching it. The commentary and what have you is a different question. You don't have to listen to that. I just enjoy watching the best players, some of the best players in the world play golf around the course I know. How sad are you that you don't get to watch it, that it's not on terrestrial telly? Such a big golf event, flagship event, but it's locked and paid for view. What do you think down below? Post those comments about that. Good thing, bad thing. Doesn't matter. I've seen studies that say it doesn't make any difference to participation numbers. I've seen others that say it does. I know for me, definite, I would be out playing golf after watching that on telly. And I know as a kid, we wouldn't have had Sky at the age I was playing golf anyway, because we wouldn't have been able to afford it. So I wouldn't have watched it. The fact that it was on BBC, kind of watch it, desperate to go out and play, call my mates, get a big group going out. Surely that's got to help some numbers. Go on, let me know. What do you think? What's on at school for you today? Just school really. Right, should we take a look at today's swing? Look guys, today's swing is a junior, about Fanula's age, look. Whacking the ball, look. So we're going to talk about junior skills, teaching, and all this applies to adults as well. It's quite interesting actually, because this movement's quite similar to Fanula's. So we're going to talk about education of skill sets. So what I mean by that is there are some certain positions that maybe could be better. This first action here, club's getting all a bit twisted, fraction better, but there's a lot of positives in here. What I like to do with students, especially juniors, it becomes so obvious, is do skill stuff rather than position stuff. So if you think about your football, they're teaching you skills, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Like how to counter attack and where you should stand as a keeper when the ball's out. They're not teaching you that you need to like get in the exact position to save the ball, because obviously you're reacting. They're teaching you skills that you can then go and practice and learn. And we're going to do the same with this golfer. So this applies to a junior in this picture, and as well as anyone playing golf. It's the same ideas. Right, walking to take these two little tackers to school. I don't have a car yet, and we need to go and get some cakes for Friday feast. I think lots of the mums bring in cakes like baked at home. I'm just going to Tesco's to buy them. Right, skill-based ideas. I do this with my eldest all the time. I try and give her the tools to improve and let her find the right movements that settle, the comfortable movements. So she's turning the club down to the ground, top of the backswing, it's turned up to the sky, she hits her shots, it goes a little bit left. Probably goes a little bit lower as well. So what I do is show my eldest, so you want to show your young golfer there, some ideas of what can happen, what shots you can hit if you twist the face in different ways. So I'm going to start by saying, let's get the right hand a bit more on top, less under here, then make some shots. And she'll probably turn the club to a different angle with that different hold, and then she'll hit some shots a bit higher, often to the right. when you first change that hold. So I say, look, there's another way to hit target. You don't have to think only about face turning this way or this way. You could think about maybe if the handle is forwards or the handle is back, which will turn the face at different angles. So try some shots, right hand more on top, and at the bottom of the swing feel like you're flicking the club forwards. Feel like you're going to go left by turning the club this way. Certainly going to go higher, and see how that sits. If she feels totally uncomfortable with it, go back to the way she's hitting it. Get her to aim a bit further right with that grip, and then slowly tease the newer grip and different twists in there. Also, get her to make some swings, right hand on top where she turns the face this way, hits some shots, and she turns the face like she wants to that way and hits some shots. Don't need to reference target so much, you want to reference how high or low they go. Get her to get an understanding of how to control that ball flight, and then she can learn to use that control to find where she wants to hit the ball. When I go on the course with my eldest, she can hit some good shots, but when she's confronted with a tree to go under, a bush to go over, something to go around, she has literally no idea because she's only being taught correct. Well, she isn't, because I'm trying to teach her skills, so she's starting to learn those ideas. But often we always leave that, we think, for more specialised golfers. It's not the case. Learning skills is what's going to make you get around that course and improve your game more. For a beginner, a more skilled, kind of seasoned golfer. That is one brand new, fresh windscreen. It's always amazing how dirty windscreens must be, because I can actually see through this. Hello world. Let's answer your questions.
Morning, Mark. I have a question probably for Coach Lockie rather than you, but here it is. I can't hit a regular chip shot. I've got the 9, the 7, the 6 iron chip shots. I can flop my sand wedge, I can flop my 50, but I can't hit that regular spinny, checky chip shot or that little soft chip shot. Help me out. Cheers, bro.
Yeah, I guess a question for Coach, but I mean, I teach this side of the game as well. The fact that I struggle with it doesn't mean that I can't teach it, which is one of those common misconceptions actually. So you're talking a little bit about little chip shots, it sounds like. What helps me with those little chip shots is if I go to putter grip. So I use a reverse overlap rather than a normal power grip, and then stand more upright like a putt rather than having the club out in front of me, and then simply putt with loft. That gets that little kind of chip onto the green, roll out that little soft one, which I actually don't mind playing. Now you referenced the spinny one. Someone like Coach Lockie never really plays that shot. He always plays for rollout. So it's kind of a shot that is desired and kind of people think is a must because they see tour pros do it sometimes. Obviously the quality of green that you hit onto affects how that chip shot reacts. So I wouldn't play for that kind of spinny one really very often. I would take it away from your repertoire. If you've got a flop shot, use landing angle rather than spin to get the ball to stop. And if you want to play those short ones, that little kind of upright putter grip putting stroke one is a great play.
This is a Ryan Little production.
Right, that was fun. In town, picked up a new camera, which I'm now shooting on. You won't notice any difference, to be honest. It's just got a feature that I might use a bit in the future. Bumped into my mum, had a nice little drink and a chat. Always nice to bump into your mum, isn't it? Right, next ideas I do with Fanula as much as possible is get her to try and understand what her clubs do. So many people forget this. They're so busy teaching grip, posture, stance, swing, follow through. They forget to play with their actual tools. So I get Fanula hitting 9 irons from 20 yards out, 50 yards out and full distance, which is kind of 70 yards for her. Trying to understand that she can be creative, she can find her patterns of good and bad shots. I also try and get her to understand that chipping is about trying to land the ball on a spot, so trying to land it, say, in that hole as much as possible. So knowing that she can land it in a certain spot gives her the power to play over bunkers, those kind of things. I get her to do it with a hybrid, hit harder hybrids, softer ones, which is a club she likes hitting. 7 irons, I get her to run them along the floor. She's 10 yards out, hit a 7 iron for new. There's loads of run, you've got cut grass, run it on. And again, this is a lesson for all golfers. Range, busy place, full of males generally, just whacking golf balls, trying to find that perfection. If you go on a tour range, you do see people bashing ball after ball after ball, but you've got to remember they're already trained in those skills. They can manipulate, and if you go and watch them play in an open and go and stand on the range at the open, then you'll start seeing creative shots, draws, fades, low ones, high ones. They won't just stand there hitting like perfect shots because they know they're going to get asked some of those trickier questions. Think about how much fun it is. It's so much more fun for them to be empowered to learn how to control their clubs rather than try and hit these kind of mythical perfect spots. that they kind of think when they get out on the course, well, I don't really ever need to think about hitting their spots because the ball's below my feet now. Well, that one's gone really high because I'm an uphill slope. The wind's hit that one, so it's come up short. All those little things are things you've got to really train with all golfers, certainly young people growing up. Having another barbecue, it's the weekend, the kids have broken up. Have a great weekend everyone. If you're going to Wentworth, have a lot of fun. If you're playing golf, have a lot of fun. Tell us where you're playing it. Those comment sections down below, thumbs up the video. As always, see you on Monday. It's a bank holiday, but I'm still going to do the daily vlog.